There we go. All right. So the recording has officially started. I will go ahead and get the other video rolling, and then we will get off to it as soon as I find the other video. All right.
Hello, and welcome to the Beat Cancer Answer, brought to you by BeatCancer.Org, the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. We believe that 90% of all cancers could be eliminated through environmental and lifestyle choices alone, and science agrees. Unfortunately, most people don't know it. So we provide the education that can help you prevent, cope with, and beat cancer through diet, lifestyle, and other immune-boosting approaches. In every video, we will feature an expert who can teach us how to become part of that 90%, who could prevent getting diagnosed with cancer. But if you already have cancer, we have empowering information for you too. Over the past 40+ years, our nonprofit counseling service has helped thousands of cancer patients get back into the driver's seat when it comes to their personal journey of healing cancer and preventing future recurrence. If we helped you learn just one thing today about how to prevent, cope with, or beat cancer, then we have succeeded in our mission. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We appreciate all of your feedback and love your suggestions. Your positive ratings help us to get discovered so we can help save more lives. Thank you again for joining us, and best wishes for good health from all of us at BeatCancer.Org.
All right. And that officially gets us started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. This is the BeatCancer.Org Ask a Holistic Cancer Coach weekly call. The date is the 20th of March of 2025. As always, there is a lot of exciting things happening at Beat Cancer, a lot of exciting things happening in the world. I'm going to turn it over to Carl to kick us off while I tend to some technical things. So, Carl, if you want to run the disclaimer, and then yeah.
Okay, well, the disclaimer is the nothing things we say here is medical advice, so we don't get in trouble with the powers that be. Let's state that. But I would be remiss not to mention that you are on the #1 call of its kind for holistic cancer modalities. And we have typically a panel of thought leaders and brilliant people in the industry, are holistic cancer coaches certified by Beat Cancer, the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. Again, the only show of its kind. And we are hosted by, if I was to call him my right-hand man, that would truly understate his value. He is the multi-talented, 5-screen viewing man behind the mirror that fields all the comments and takes care of all the tech and a bazillion other things. He's my genie in a bottle that makes all my beat cancer wishes come true. Or he's as intelligent as he is handsome and wonderfully articulate. Zachariah Frank, and he has a show of his own of the same name. So that is our host, Zachariah. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Of course, Carl, I would not be here if it was not for yourself. For those who don't know Carl, he is the CEO of Beat Cancer with a long history in entrepreneurship and health and fitness, personal training. He took over, the organization not by force, but he was asked to step up when the organization needed someone to run it like a business and perform the necessary duties like a CEO would. Our founder, Susan, super wonderful in the field, super wonderful counselor, educator, but not so good at the business stuff. So when it was needed most, Carl stepped up without pay and took on the duties of CEO. And that's why this organization has survived so long. So I wouldn't be here. None of us would be here if it wasn't for him. So always very grateful for you as well, Carl.
Well,
So
thank you, Zach. Thank you. You make me you push me. You push me to be a better CEO. So thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is a bit of a unique call tonight. Normally we are live streaming to a million different social media platforms at once, but our tech has decided not to work for us tonight. So we'll be a little more private amongst ourselves and the discussion. So that means I'm really counting on you guys here on the call to participate because we can't be fielding questions from the social media crew for some reason. So, with that said, any of the participants here that may not have been here before, this is a call to talk about all things holistic health and healing. You can ask questions. Your comments are welcome, whether you agree, disagree, respectfully. We're not an echo chamber here. We are here to get to the bottom of things and figure things out so we all may live happier, healthier, more fulfilled, holistic lives. All right, we have more people in.
One more house cleaning thing. I'm so sorry to interrupt,
Yep,
Zach.
yep.
If there's background noise and your mic is hot, I will mute you. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means that we can hear stuff in the background and it's hard to concentrate. And um, so I will do that. And one other thing, if you have a question and somebody else is talking, please use the raise your hand icon in the tray of your uh, whatever you call it, the Zoom window, and
Like that.
or post it in the chat and we will address it as soon as possible.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. With that said, Carl, was there any topics that you wanted to go over tonight, or shall we kick it off with one from our list here?
Oh my God, I have so many things, but I don't know what's appropriate to say or not. They try to ban us on channels, but
True,
definitely.
let's go over that. Let's talk about that, right? We got another badge of honor this morning.
Well,
Badge of
we're not
honor being,
streaming tonight as well.
what's that?
I said we're not streaming tonight, so
Yeah,
we're
I
we're
know.
free to say
So
what we want.
absolutely. So we got a badge of honor, and that was getting our video removed and a strike on our account on YouTube for medical misinformation. Anyone that's savvy to the world knows that there is a war on information, and when you're sharing good information, you run into some opposition about it. So we got a post removed and a strike on our account for talking about colloidal silver. We weren't telling anyone to drink it by the gallon. We weren't telling anyone to, do anything crazy with it. We were just having a chat about colloidal silver on one of our posts. And
We weren't telling anybody anything. It was just somebody that uses it and said something about it.
yeah, so we are banned on YouTube for 2 weeks, and we have 2 strikes on our account. If we get another, we're gone for good. But we'll be okay. We're, always navigating the world of information as efficiently as we can. We figured out some of their tricks and some of their hot topics that they want us to stay away from. So we will be professionally maneuvering to make sure that we don't get banned. But if it
So
happens, it happens.
in that vein of misinformation, sorry to interrupt, Jack. Zach, were you done?
No, go ahead.
Uh, I just saw that there was a study done by Harvard stating that seed oils were better than butter.
Yeah.
Well, they don't get strikes for medical misinformation, but we do. So I
Yeah.
think that is misinformation at its finest, and maybe we could make that a topic tonight, seed oils.
Yeah. Maya's asking, can we live stream on Rumble? Yes, we can and we do. Normally we are live streaming on YouTube, Rumble, X,
Facebook.
Facebook. Yes, thank you. But right now our live streaming tech isn't working, and I think to troubleshoot it, I would have to end the meeting and change the settings and then come back into the meeting. So this is just us for now, and then um, we can post the replay elsewhere. So the
It might be
conversation is just amongst us
fair
for
to
now.
mention that when we are up, we are joined by thousands of other guests that are online every single week. That's why I say we're the most popular, because we are, and probably one of the only of its kind where we have a panel of experts, our holistic cancer coaches. and they are not only experts in the field, but they are thought leaders in the industry. So where are we at, Zach? Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go with seed oils.
Yeah, go for it. So, yeah, you brought it up. It's a hot thing. If apparently there's, allegedly a study that was just done about it, I always like to add that word in there because I didn't see them do it. Did you, Carl?
I did not. I just seen the reports on it, which is kind of amazing to me. But how they could say seed oils are healthy in any respect, it doesn't matter if it's compared to butter or regular oil that you put in your car. I don't see it as a healthy alternative for anything.
Yeah.
Maybe the oil in your car would be better. Maybe I don't.
What do we know, Carl? We're just staff. Let's turn it over to our coaches and see what our coaches
Oh,
think.
right. Yeah, I wouldn't be the right one. Let's see what they have to say.
So what do you think, coaches? How are you feeling about
I,
seed
s-
oil?
I see Maya shaking her head. She's itching. She's itching to say something. Who wants to be first? How about Annette? Mary Annette. She's shaking her head too.
Well, I just find that that's very interesting that that study came out because I just read last week a study about how seed oils are linked to the increase in obesity, especially in America, and chronic disease and illness. So I was actually looking for that source and I was going to post it in the chat. But yeah, and I want to say that one was done with Stanford.
Yeah,
No.
they're trying to say that if I understood it correctly, that seed oils aren't bad in general. It's rancid seed oils. But if you eat chips or any kind of snack, God knows how long it's been in there. And one of the biggest offenders, we'll just say Doritos. We all know they're not healthy, but the all the artificial flavorings and everything in the Doritos hides the fact that it's rancid. And I don't know if you've ever had like I've smelled this in regular old tortilla chips, even the ones they say are organic that have a seed oil. If you let them sit open, like well, after you opened it and the oxygen gets at it, and you open the bag again and you sniff in there, it smells like petroleum.
It
That's
does.
what it smells to me.
It does. And I've noticed even after, like, say I go without eating them or using them for a while, when you taste it, it just tastes like chemicals. It doesn't
Absolutely.
taste fresh. It doesn't taste like how food should taste in nature. And so it does, it makes you really wonder what's really going on after you've fried all of that stuff in there and then let it sit for months on end. Um, yeah, what's it doing to the body? But I do know that seed oils are very heavy in omega-6. It's correct, right? It's
Right.
omega-6. Yep.
Inflammatory.
Yep,
Yeah.
which are the super inflammatory omegas. So you're not getting those omega-3s like you would with some animal fats, especially like wild meats and stuff. So you're not offsetting that omega-6, so you're just feeding the fire even more.
Eating fire.
I'm gonna jump in real quick because I had a pertinent idea. Carl, can you
Yes.
try making me host? Currently, I'm co-host, but perhaps I need to
Oh,
be
well,
host
I
in order
don't,
to live stream. So try making me host, and then perhaps we can get our social media
how
friends.
did I become host? You were on first.
No, you were here first, I think.
Geez. Well,
Who's on first?
let me work on that and you guys continue to talk.
Yeah, just right click on my name in the participants list and click host. Just because it'd be a shame if we can't get more people in on the conversation. But anyway, back to the seed oils, back to the coaches. Amy Serena has something to share. Mike is yours. Oh, you are muted currently.
I've changed you over to host.
Can you hear
Wonderful.
me?
We can hear you. And now
Hey,
I have
great,
live streaming options.
great. Nice to see everybody. Even oils, yeah, uh, seed oils are definitely no good, not good news for anybody if they want to have a healthy body. I really feel oils overall are processed. There's 4,000 calories a pound in oils.
Hello and welcome to the
Go ahead, Amy.
And when you use oil, you're just eating a processed food. And we want the whole food. We want the fiber. We want all the nutrient density that almond or that walnut has. Walnuts are your highest omega-3 nut. Almonds are actually the worst nut you could eat. they're all, yeah, walnuts are what you want. Flax, chia seeds ground up fresh. Those type of things have fiber. They're whole food. You don't want flaxseed oil. It's processed. I mean, it's better than the other oils if you're going to use it cold and keep it refrigerated and use it within a reasonable amount of time. But why not use the whole food? That's what the body utilizes. Otherwise, even flaxseed oil is processed. And I don't want you guys to get ditched for me saying that online. God forbid.
Don't worry about it. Say what you want. I'm sorry to interrupt. Say
No,
what
no,
you
no,
want, and the boys will edit it out.
but you really want the good, healthy, whole food omega-3 fats, avocado in moderation. With cancer, you just have to go with the person, but you want a lot of whole, dense, whole food, carbs and quality beans for protein, that type of thing. You really want a whole food, plant-based, high fiber, lots of nutrient dense, organic if possible food. And that includes the oils. You don't want the oils, you want the whole nut, you want the whole seeds, you want the integrity of it all. But that other oils, seed oils, all that, I mean, they shouldn't even be they shouldn't be allowed in the market.
We agree for sure. And also too, the process that the oils go through typically, even things that they call good, like olive oil, if you're not careful about the type of olive oil that you get, it's processed with hexane, and they do a bleaching process so it doesn't smell bad, and there's all kinds of incredible
Do you know
things that they do that are highly caustic in the process of getting that oil to market.
olive oil is 7 times more inflammatory if you just ate the whole olive? That's pretty amazing.
Well,
7 times.
I've heard that there aren't enough olives in the world for the amount of olive oil that exists in the world. Pretty-
Insane. Thank you, Amy. Maya.
Okay. I think one thing, if you put these seed oils into the car, I think that at some point they're going to develop some kind of autoimmune condition, even in the cars, not talking about humans. There is a difference between omega-3 oils in animal fats and in plant fats. Like omega-3s in plants are ALA, alpha linolenic acid. Omega-3 in animals are DPA and DHA, most bioavailable and most absorbable form, and the ones that our body recognizes because we have the same oils, which is EPA and DHA. Our body does not make ALA. So coming from seeds and nuts, ALA does not have same chemical structure as the ones that comes from animals. So we got to be wise where we're getting our fat from. Definitely not from seed oils and not oils. We just have to get them in most bioavailable form that our body recognizes it and can break it down. That's all I could say.
And these are oils that are in supposedly the whole form. Now fractionated oils are even worse. No?
Yeah, they are worse. It's always good to get your oils in the whole form, like Amy was saying. Whole form means like you getting them, like, let's say you have a steak and you have a fat portion of it. That's where you get your most bioavailable form of oils. But in nuts and seeds, the other contents such as like a phytates and tannins and lectins, they prevent absorption of those nutrients, or even oxalate. They prevent absorption of nutrients and oils up to 90%, depends on the compound, what's in there. Oxalate, I know it prevents the absorption of all the nutrients, including the oils, by 90%. Certain is starting from 20% up to 90%. So we got to be very wise where we're getting our food, and we got to get most absorbable and most digestible form that we can take all the nutrients at the 100% to our system, into our system.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Maya. I was on mute. My kids just came home, so it sounds like a herd of elephants when they're stomping around above me. Yes, Jane. You're on mute. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
You said seed oil. I wasn't registering with exactly what it was, but it's an interesting conversation that I had with my son last week when I was talking about nausea and all that kind of stuff. And we were looking into some of the vegan things that were somewhat processed and some of the butter, and they had all these kind of oils in them that have to be avoided. Now, Dr. Kilidor, who's our pulmonologist, said something very, very interesting. It was when Michael was alive, and he is totally supportive of everything we do, loves Dr. Bazan. And Michael was complaining about being on the diet from Dr. Bazan. And he said, Michael, let me tell you something that happens. The manufacturers that are making the chips, and like we were talking about the chips that have all these seed oils on it, and in addition to sugars, have just the right amount so that you become addicted to want them over and over and over again. So it's a whole money-making process that is part of this deal. Now, my question for you guys is, I pretty much stay away from meat. So I buy organic olive oil for salads and for cooking. Is that something that you guys, or organic avocado oil? Does that make sense to you guys?
I hear that avocado oil is largely unregulated in this,
Okay.
and then as a result, a lot of the avocado oil is not actually avocado oil.
Okay.
So sure,
What
there's
about
some
organic?
trustworthy brands, but that's something to be wary of. Is my
What
initial
about
thoughts.
organic olive oil?
Well, that goes back to what I was saying before in that I guess same thing. It might not actually be olive oil fully.
Right. And if you are to look for olive oil, I would certainly look for cold pressed. Therefore,
Okay.
it didn't go through the same processes that the other oils go through. If you don't get cold pressed, you're definitely getting olive oil that was cured through hexane and other things that are very caustic.
So the idea would be cold pressed and organic?
Yeah, that would be your best bet, but like Zach says, we never know. It's like honey. It's hard to find honey that's real.
Right.
Yeah,
So
the best thing you can do is find locally derived honey.
what would we
Somebody
use
has
for
it.
cooking for someone who doesn't want to use meat?
You could use ghee.
I do, yes, we do use ghee.
That's right back to butter. So are you asking if like you're avoiding animal products entirely?
Mostly, yes. Yes, rarely do I eat animal products.
Yeah.
Any
But
liquid
I do eat
oils,
ghee. I
yeah.
do eat ghee though.
well, ghee is
I'm
good.
sorry, Maya.
Any liquid oils, they get rancid. As soon as you open them and expose them to air, within like a few days, they're gonna get rancid. So the question is, do you really want to consume rancid oils, whether they're organic or non-organic? Like if you eat an avocado itself, you're gonna get better benefit. But if you get avocado oil, liquid oil, if you're getting a small size bottles, which I would recommend for people who use a small size bottles, so you can open them and you can use them fast enough so they won't get rancid. Same thing with olive oil. I personally use only oils that hardens, that solidifies. So because they don't get rancid and they sit for a long time. So I use those like a butter, ghee, tallow, stuff like that.
What was the third one? Butter, ghee, and
Tallow,
Tallow.
I've never
yeah.
heard of tallow.
Well,
Okay.
that
Tallow,
comes
but
from animal fat, so
Oh, okay.
I have to be like, if you don't use that, you probably are not going to use that. So that's what personally I use after deep diving into the oils.
Hold on, let me
understanding-
turn this off.
Sorry. Yeah, after deep
Hey,
diving and learning
there we
about
go.
oils.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, I took care of it.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I just
Yeah.
needed that.
Yeah, and plus content of the oils, it's very important because animal products and animal oils that comes from animals, including butter and ghee, they contain all form of fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, right? No plant oil contains any of those oils. And those are very important part, like for example, metabolizing vitamin D, metabolizing calcium in our body. So, and doing other work, other things in our body. So you have to just know oils instead of just listening. Do your research and see which one would be best for you to consume.
And
So,
maybe
but-
from what you're saying, refrigerate them. If you're using olive oil for salads,
You
refrigerate
can
it.
refrigerate them, they become solidified. You know, if they become solidified, then you have a better, it's a good quality olive oil.
Mhm.
So again, like another thing is when you eat olive itself, like you get everything from the olive itself.
Right.
And then to squeeze a 1 tablespoon of olive oil, you need about a pound of olive oil. You know, a pound of olives to squeeze
yeah.
1 tablespoon.
Mhm.
So a question is like, can your liver process 1 pound of olive,
Right.
you know, in that 1 tablespoon? So
And do
that's
you
how
want
I look. Yeah.
you would say it's very bad advice to go get your oil in gallon containers from Costco and put them under your
Right.
sink.
Yes, those
Right.
big gallons, like never,
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
ever. So I would stay away from those. Definitely. Smaller bottle you get, the better. And you have to
Mhm.
also know before they hit your kitchen table, how long they've been sitting on the shelves at the store. The bottle's been exposed to those lights, even though they're in the dark bottles, like they still been exposed, and the light still destroys, you know, compound of the oils. And as soon as you open them, they get exposed to oxygen, and they would get oxidized. And do you really want to like eat something that it's been oxidized?
Right.
So if we were to get olive oils, you would a good quality olive oil that you wanted to put in the refrigerator, I guess you would suggest transferring that oil into a wide mouth container like a canning jar, a little quart canning jar or whatever. So I'd imagine it's pretty hard to get out of the bottle once it's solidified if it's got those narrow bottles.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I even make my you know, body creams and face creams from animal fat. I don't use plant fat because they absorb better and they sit on your skin very well.
And it's super convenient. You could cook with the same stuff you moisturize with, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. You just scrape it from your skin and you cook
Yeah, that's
with
what I do when I get it on my hands, like coconut oil or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, oh, that's a good point. What about coconut oil?
I like coconut oil. It has its
Coconut oil is
drawbacks.
I
good.
use that a lot.
Yeah, coconut is good. It still does not contain all form of fat soluble vitamins, but it's better option over avocado and olive oil.
Well, when you mentioned the face, because I use it for my face and I use it for cooking, so it works.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of it.
Right.
Thank you, Marionette, for putting in that study in the chat. Anybody that's looking would like to have that study, the link is in the chat. You can grab that link or just post it to another browser.
I have the study too of the one that you were referencing today.
Oh, you found that?
Yeah, I did. It's all over Substack. So
It's insane, isn't it? Yeah. Well, if we've exhausted the topic of oil, I have another one if you want, another one that's top of mind and annoying me today.
Go for it.
It is the number one ingredients that are in most, if not all, baby formulas. So who can
Soy.
guess what that number one ingredient is?
Oh, I could tell you all of them.
Yeah, well, just give me the number one.
Soy is
Yeah, well,
one.
that's number two, but
Sugar.
corn syrup solids,
Corn syrup
I
salt.
said sugar. Yeah, I figured it was a sugar.
soy
Mhm.
protein isolates, which is
Mhm.
the worst kind of soy. And imagine all soy has tons of glyphosate sprayed on it, and high fructose corn syrup.
High
So
fructose
they
corn syrup.
get corn syrup solids and high fructose corn syrup
Yeah.
in these what's supposed to replace a mother's milk, and it's just blows me away that they can get away with this. But maybe we can talk about that a little bit. Some of those ingredients.
Well,
Yes, Jane.
one of the things is that would start a child from birth, from infancy, to get hooked on the sugar taste, to get addicted to sugar, to keep on that chain. And
Yes.
even if someone doesn't want or can't do mother's milk for whatever reason, you know, they could figure out, I guess, when the baby's a little older, how to make their own food.
Yeah. So and then
That's what I used to do.
Sugar addiction
Easy.
is a big thing.
Right.
The typical American diet, I forget how many pounds it was, but the visual representation was a full wheelbarrow full of sugar is yearly consumption of the average American, which is amazing. And when I was running uh, these healthy, whatever. I was trying to get people off of sugar in doctors' offices. That was the main thing. It was a low glycemic diet lifestyle, which is basically the type 2 diabetics lifestyle, which is the only one that they found that's sustainable long term. But when I went through it myself, I went through withdrawal. And I didn't
Sure,
think
because you're addicted.
I didn't think that I ate that much sugar, but it's just as addictive or even more so than cocaine, which is crazy.
Right.
So yeah.
My kids were raised, there was no sugar in the house at all. There was no cold cuts. There were no, you know, if I wanted to make turkey, I would make my own turkey and slice it. And that's what they would have for sandwiches. They didn't know, no candy, no cakes, nothing. In fact, when my son went to college, he called me so angry. I said, what, it's your fault, Mom, it's your fault. I said, what's my fault now? You know? And he said, everybody else is having blueberry pie and I can't stand the taste because he didn't have the taste of sugar. It was never in the house. No cake, no candy, no ice cream, because I was pre-diabetic and they have the same genes, and that's it. It's what you choose to do.
Addiction is only one part. Let's talk about all the inflammatory markers that causes the brain, effect on the brain, effect on digestive system, autism, you know, there's so many autoimmune conditions kids develop at such a young age just by consuming all those ingredients.
And what about dyes with autism as well?
Yeah, they are. It's all come from diet.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I see Beverly reaching for that mute button.
Unmute. Okay, I also want to say inoculations. I want to say mercury poisoning from silver fillings. Hopefully this is offline.
No, we're live now, but we're not on
Oh,
YouTube,
no.
so they can.
Yeah,
they'll be
YouTube.
all right. Speak
YouTube is
freely.
missing us this week.
It's
their loss.
You know, there's two routes that you can go, right?
So it's not just what, you know, like it's not just the foods is what I wanted to say, you know, because I had a silver filling, which actually caused my memory to go. And I was really, really sick. And then I got pregnant shortly after that. And I had a son that had autism spectrum. Yeah. So anyways, and then I've seen many kids that were perfect at birth. And as soon as they got the shots, then they had autism or autism spectrum. So anyways, I think that's number one, actually, because that's the first thing they want to say attack the child with.
Absolutely. Right from birth, the vitamin K shot, which is not only
Oh,
vitamin.
yeah, exactly.
Read the insert.
Yeah, truly crimes against humanity. And on the point that you're saying, Beverly, it's important to remember that a child's health status doesn't start at birth. It doesn't even start at conception. It starts before that. What is the state of the father's body when, conception happens? And then what is the state of the mother's body? And then what is the state of the mother's body throughout, the 9 months? I say in quotes because that's another whole medical matrix rabbit hole to go down, the whole 9 month standard. But yeah, like people equate a child being born with some sort of ailment or disability and then just chalk it up to, oh, well, that's how that child was supposed to be. And it's just not the truth. It's
Well, what I heard was that the mercury, okay, I got from a filling, a small little filling put in, and they say that the fetus it'll go to the fetus 300 times, 300 times than to the adult. So they're so susceptible to that. Even though I did detox for a year after that, it still didn't matter. So there was still enough in my system that damaged.
well, did you get the filling removed?
Yes, I did right away.
Did you
And,
get it removed by a biological dentist or by a standard dentist?
I got it removed by the same dentist, which what I know now, I wish I would have went to the specialist who I talked to, because he said, if she won't remove it, come down and see me. And this guy knew all about mercury poisoning. And anyway, when I phoned her to say I needed it removed, she said, because I'm sick, because I was literally sick, like I was in bed sick. And she said, oh, you probably just got Crohn's. Oh, all of a sudden, like I got Crohn's one day, because that day I got the filling. That night I was sick. And then I was forgetting everything. And like my memory was going. So by the time I went in to get a live blood sample to find out what was wrong with me, because I was so sick, I forgot. I forgot. It was like I couldn't remember things. I couldn't remember people's names. And when he looked at my live blood analysis, he said, you have so many toxins in your blood. And anyways, he says, do you know why? And I go, no. He says, well, have you been to a dentist recently? And my memory was, in and out. And I said, I don't know. So I had to go back and look on my calendar, go home, look on my calendar. And that's when I started connecting the dots. And it's like, oh my God, that's the day I got sick, was the day I got that little filling. And I didn't want them. And she had my mouth cranked open, frozen, and said, I can't put a white one back there because it won't stick. Well, anyway, she ended up doing that, changing it, putting a white one back there, and it's still back there. So
Wonderful. That's such a good point. Remember, in any matter of health or any matter of anything, you don't necessarily have to take the first professional opinion you get on something for gospel, right? There's always other practitioners out there that might be further trained on an area of specialty than than the first practitioner that you see is. So that's a great point that you bring up.
Before we get to the next two hands that are up, I'd like to make a special announcement. We have 3 ultra awesome guests on tonight, cancer coaches that are starting their own show. It's called Cancer Conversations and Choices. And these coaches are Maya and Marionette and iPad 6. I'm only kidding. It's Deborah, but she's AKA iPad 6 tonight. Yep. Okay, so I don't know if Amy had her hand up to comment or it's just left up, but we could go to Amy if you didn't have your hand up for this topic. We'll go to Marionette, or Annette, as we love to call her. And you're on mute. Okay, we'll go to Annette.
I was just going to touch on the whole baby formula and then, us going off to the subject of autism. So I have actually been diagnosed autistic. I was diagnosed later stage in life, and then I was also diagnosed with ADHD. And I can tell you guys, I 100% agree with the diet. I mean, our diet and what we feed ourselves, it makes a huge difference. A lot of that actually has to do with inflammation, the increased inflammation, and changes. It's just different connections in our brain, versus a neurotypical person. And it's just like anybody, though. If you're not eating right, your brain's not going to work very well. If you're your body functions are just not going to be as good either. So it does work a lot of the way same way. But I also just read a study last week. Oh, I wish I had it. They are actually finding more and more, like Zach was saying, a lot of this is pre conception, the lifestyles of the fathers and the mothers, of the parents, and what they're doing even at that preconception that's going to affect, when conception does happen. And they are finding, and it is in studies, that there are certain environmental factors, some of them are pushed on us and some are, that are actually turning those genes on, because there is for quite a few, there's an autistic gene that you can have. And so it can, if you are, I mean, just like cancer, if it's toxins that you're around all the time, if you're not keeping your body clean, you're not keeping your mental health, clean and in a good spot. It's just like anything, things can come up. It's just like any autoimmune immune issue too. But yeah, there's certain, things that happen right after birth that probably don't need to happen right away that can contribute to it too. But there's a lot that plays into the whole autism, ADHD topic. But I can tell you a lot of it is your lifestyle. It is your lifestyle. It's what we eat. It's what we feed our children. It's how we choose to interact with people. But yeah, and I agree, starting that out with baby formula, sugar, that's going to be one of the biggest the culprits to behavioral issues is the sugars, and right away they get you hooked.
Absolutely.
So.
Predators prey on the vulnerable and the innocent. And yeah, the modern abomination that is the health so-called care of pregnancy and birth and children is amongst, some of the most depraved, and definitely gets me fired up. But yeah, definitely thank you for that expanding on there. I want to call up on another guest that we have on us tonight. It's not a name that I have seen frequently, so I always like to hear from some unfamiliar faces and yeah, see what brings people out here. So she was just on camera a moment ago, and if she is still available and able to grab the mic, I would like to open up the floor for Joyce B. and hear what brings you out to the call.
Yes, Phil, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
We
Yep,
can
we
hear
can hear
you.
you. Good to see you here.
Thank you. I was at the Apple's
Yeah,
conference. I went there,
wonderful.
and I actually met Deborah when we were going back to the airport. So we were on the same shuttle and same plane together. So I was just interested about the coaching program and finding out some more information about that.
You're in the right
So,
place. You have everyone that could possibly answer the question right here. So the floor is yours.
So go ahead, ask any question.
just really like what's involved with the program and how long it is and how do you get clients and stuff like that.
Yep, I
Awesome.
think a good person might be Deborah.
Well, the program's great for one, and it's as long as you want to make it. Truly, it's for the most part, it's at your own pace, Joyce, and it's good to see you again. So it's really at your own pace. It is. It's just there's so much information. I know that I started it and then I kind of slowed down a little bit and then I just went for it and finished it. It prepares you, I think, for a lot of how to talk with patients, how to what to look for, those types of things. Susan Silverstein has just a great program there, and I think you'd really enjoy it. I think anybody would, and I think anybody could get a whole lot of information from it, and just it can really, I was going to say, change your life, and for lack of a better word. One of the things that I've noticed from being a coach, and I'm at a conference all week this week, so I'm sorry if I sound scattered. I think I've had probably like 10 hours of sleep, which is not good. All week. It's been kind of crazy. But the one thing that people have asked, they asked if I were a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor, but I tell them, no, I'm a holistic cancer coach with BeatCancer.org. And I'm telling you what, it was phenomenal. The whole trajectory of the conversation changed, the way they talked to you and everything was really interesting. So, and a lot of people really want to help. They want to help you. What can we do? How can we support you? How can we do this? And it's amazing, God, and to be able to harness that from people that really want to help is huge. And that's what we want to do. We want to get the word out there. We want to be able to help as many people and as we can. So there's that piece of it. There's modules. You do some modules, and like I said, it's at your own pace. It's all online.
Thank you very much, Deb. We will relieve you there. Any other coaches? How are you getting clients? What was another one of the questions there? So like, what are some of the things that you do to get yourself out there, and how do people find their way to you?
Well, we definitely help with that, don't we, Zach?
I think so. But let's hear it from the coaches. Let's hear it for
Marinette and then Jane.
That's actually what I was going to say. I mean, a lot of it is, we're getting more awareness and notice from you guys sharing our information. That's a huge bonus for us as coaches, is the emails that go out. If we have a blog post, or if we have information, or we have an event going on or something, we can share it with Zach and Carl, and then they can send it out, in an email to everybody. And then also too, just in social media. So if you have a video that you've recorded, you have any other content, you can share it to them too, and then they can see if they can use it for the organization, but also just these calls. So the more you participate and the more that you're active with all of us as a team, then you have that as an opportunity too, to be able to get your voice and your awareness out there about your business and yourself. So yeah, there's a lot of that too. And then I just think it's awesome because we have such a supportive community. Like, even as a student, when you're going through as a student, you have all of us as coaches. You have Zach and Carl in the chats, on Telegram. So you can always reach out to any of us at any point in time. So you're supported. You're not by yourself. I think that's probably one of the best parts about this organization is we're in this together. We're in this to share as much information as we can with people.
And there's a directory. BeatCancer.org has a directory. So once you pass your exam and everything, then you fill out your bio. Zach will help you with that. And we'll get you all set up. And there's a directory. So people can go ahead and go onto the website, BeatCancer.org, and look for a holistic cancer coach.
Yeah, and just for some numbers, we get thousands of people that view our directory every single month. But the clips from these calls every week, I would say the average on Facebook is somewhere in the 3,000 to 4,000 views, and every one of those that are views with any particular coach that's speaking during that clip gets linked back to that coach, so that anybody that's watching it can easily find that coach. And some of those clips have gone up to 3 million views. So it's I would say 3,000 to 4,000 is the average, and that happens pretty quickly. But we get lots of them with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, up to 1 million and 3 million views. So we do our part in helping get the word out about our coaches and get attention directed back to any particular coach that's on the call.
Yeah, the list really goes on and on. Without bombarding you right now with all the things that we do, which I would love to follow up with you after this call some other time. You're very welcome to book in a meeting with me where we can go over things more extensively. Some of the things that a coach themselves can do are host their own webinars, whether it's by themselves or with other coaches, like we just announced some of our coaches are doing. You can Go and do in-person speaking engagements at your local community centers, libraries, different club facilities in the area. You can, if grow your own social media platforms. And again, that can be in collaboration with us and other coaches, etc. Um, yeah, I mean,
Some
you
of
could
our
form partnerships with medical facilities, other even oncologists, and have them recommend your services as continuing education and aftercare that their patients can get, because that's a really a big gap in the mainstream medical model. There's really no aftercare. And so, yeah, all of these things are options and more. And part of the supportive community that we have here is figuring out which ones are good for each individual coach, because everyone has different ways that they like to do things or different personalities, different time schedules. So we help kind of figure out and navigate these things and then implement them as well. How do I
and
build a website? How do
we
I
do
build this, that?
yeah, and we talk about most of those things on the Monday night coaches only call. That's a topic is marketing and how do we get clients, and we also teach you an integrous way of getting clients without feeling salesy, and I think the coaches can attest to that. And what else? Oh, some of our coaches are picked up by other organizations. Sometimes they come to us and then we'll send out an email where they can apply. We've had our coaches on stage at the Annie Appleseed event in the past, and relatively new coaches as well, not just senior coaches, but new. And at the upcoming event, the Beljanski event, not only is the founder of Beljanski, Sylvie, somebody who took our course, but one of her main people in her organization has taken the course, and 5 other people that are going to be there that are speaking have taken the course. So it goes far and wide.
Thank you.
Yeah, so much information just thrown at you. Don't worry if all of that didn't absorb. I did just put in the chat, Joyce, a link that goes right to my calendar, and we can definitely keep the conversation going. And I'd be more than happy to acquaint you more with anything that you're wondering. So
Also, if you go to our website and go to become a holistic cancer coach, there's a great video with Zach. And Zach, do you want to go over the 2 videos real quick?
that's all right. Yeah, if you make your way to that page, there's a video. If you fill in the form there, it'll bring you to another video. That's all there is to go over, really.
Well, yeah, but it does answer a lot of questions.
Yeah. So I do encourage you to check those out.
Thank you.
We just threw a lot of words at you. Back to you, Joyce. What's on your heart and your mind?
That's really, that's really it. I just guess we could talk about all the details and stuff at a later time. Because I'm in remission for lymphoma since last year, so I thought it would be good to, to try to help out other people too. And like you said, not everyone has support and stuff, even when they're in remission or going through treatment. So
Absolutely. Show of hands, how many coaches have a similar story to that?
I'll do.
All the ones that we can see a video for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to be the bearer of bad news. I hope everybody got their questions answered, and you're good, Joyce, at this time.
yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Zach and I have another call to get to at 8 o'clock, so we do have to have a hard stop this evening. It's unfortunate. Usually, when the conversation's going so well, we just continue on. But tonight we do have another engagement, so I apologize for that. But it is the top of the hour. So any finals from you, Zach?
Yeah, as a reminder, we meet here every Thursday at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust for your local time zone. For any of our friends that are on social media watching the live stream, you can find us by going to BeatCancer.org and clicking on the weekly call button right at the top. That'll allow you to join us right here on the Zoom itself. Nothing that is said here is intended to be taken as medical advice. We are just here to share information, have some fun, and share resources. Yeah. Thank you for watching the BeatCancer.Org Ask a Holistic Cancer Coach Weekly Call. We look forward to seeing
And
you
we'll
soon.
see you here next week.
Have a good
All right,
week,
bye,
everybody.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, Joyce.
Thank you. Thank you.